Knowles on the News. Susan Knowles.
Well, hopefully you are hearing this on the night before Christmas. That's right. It is December 24th. It is that day before you and I celebrate the birth of Jesus Christ. And what better way to be reminded of the birth of Christ and what we are as Christians and who we are as Christians than to get a statement by the president on persecuted Christians at Christmas time. Now, you know that he wouldn't come out and make a public statement because, after all, he's doing something important. He's in Hawaii, and we can't let a little thing like persecuted Christians at Christmas time interfere with tea time. We all know that, and we can all, I'm sure, appreciate that. But he came out with a statement that was prepared just for you and me. And let me read part of it to you, if I can, without being too sarcastic in my voice. And I do apologize for that ahead of time, but it's really hard, especially around Christmas. During the season of Advent, Christians in the United States and around the world are preparing to celebrate the birth of Jesus Christ. At this time, those of us fortunate enough to live in countries that honor the birthright of all people to practice their faith freely give thanks for that blessing. Michelle and I are also ever mindful that many of our fellow Christians do not enjoy that right and hold especially close to our hearts and minds those who have been driven from their ancient homelands by unspeakable violence and persecution. In some areas of the Middle East where church bells have rung for centuries on Christmas Day, this year they will be silent. This silence bears tragic witness to the brutal atrocities committed against these communities by, of course, ISIL. We join with people around the world in praying for God's protection for persecuted Christians and those of other faiths. Of course, because we can't just mention Christians at Christmas time. Sorry. As well as for those brave men and women engaged in our military, diplomatic, and humanitarian efforts to alleviate their suffering and restore stability, security, and hope to their nations. As the old Christmas carol reminds us, the wrong shall fail, the right prevail, with peace on earth, goodwill to men. Wow, doesn't that just make you feel all warm and special on Christmas? You know, let me just tell you, Mr. President, one thing is that those Christians in the Middle East have been persecuted for many, many years, and you're just now getting around to talking about it. And they've been persecuted not only by just typical individuals that you might find in the Middle East, you know, those living there, but especially by our own allies like Saudi Arabia that doesn't allow not even one church to stand in Saudi Arabia on their soil. And as for the other people who believe in Islam and follow the Quran, they persecute Christians practically on a daily basis in the Middle East. But you're just now mentioning it at Christmas time. And for all of you who have heard my show with Raymond Ibrahim, who is an expert on Islam in the Middle East, you should really go back and listen to that show. And it's all about persecuted Christians in the Middle East, and you should get his book, Crucified Again, if you really want to know how horrible the persecution of Christians is in the Middle East. And you won't need our golf-playing president to remind you of that and downplay it, as he does just about everything with quote-unquote ISIL. But I have to say that he was right about a couple of things when he said in his statement, the wrong shall fail, the right prevail, because we know that evil in this world will ultimately fail and Christ will prevail. I hope that you are having a wonderful preparation time today and preparing for Christmas tomorrow. I hope you enjoy Christmas along with your family, and while you're enjoying Christmas, please do remember all of our military men and women who are serving this country and have served this country and given their lives for this country each and every day. Remember them when they are away from their homes this Christmas and unable to celebrate with their own families. Know that they have always and will always make a sacrifice for this country and for you and me. And we should be thankful for that, and I know that you are. So just enjoy the time with your family. Read the Bible together. Read the night before Christmas together. Enjoy sitting around the fireplace and just talking about great memories. And while you're opening presents, just be thankful for everything that you have. And again, I know that you are, and I know that you don't take anything for granted. There are many this Christmas who will not have a home, who will be homeless again this year as they were each and every day last year. And my hope for those individuals is that they are able to get off the street, that they are able to find compassionate and loving individuals who help them and will continue to help them each and every day. As you might know, there are a lot of homeless veterans who, instead of trying to get the help that they so richly deserve and sometimes don't get at all from the VA, have just decided to give up and live on the streets because they feel safer there. And they feel like no matter what happens, they'll just go it alone, and it will be better than getting the type of service or the lack thereof that they receive from the VA. It just no longer becomes worth it to them. And I ask you to pray for those individuals and pray that we will one day be able to get our veterans the help that they deserve, they so richly deserve, and that the 22 plus a day that we lose in suicides will be no more. I just wish sometimes that I could reach out to each and every one of those individuals and ask them to hold on a little longer and just tell them how much we really do love and appreciate all that they have done for us, and that we do wish them a life filled with health, happiness, and there are people working diligently to help them get there to where they should be. Until next time, Merry Christmas, take care, God bless. This is Susan Knowles with Knowles on the News.